Chapter 4 Sampradāya, the living stream of realization. When speaking of masters like Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj or Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, one often forgets that their voice did not arise from nowhere. Every word they spoke, every phrase that cut through illusion, every silence that transmitted the real, was the fruit of a transmission received, a living, authentic transmission that in India has a specific name, Sampradāya. The term Sampradāya refers to an unbroken current of realization in which essential, non-conceptual knowledge is preserved, recognized, and transmitted from master to disciple. It is not about philosophy or intellectual ideas. It is about a stable vibration of consciousness that becomes evident through the living presence of one who has realized it. Sampradāya is what allows the continuity of truth. It does not arise from institutions or hierarchies. It is a silent impulse, preserved only in those who have realized what they transmit. Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj belonged to one of these lineages, the Navanatha Sampradāya, the way of the nine naths. This spiritual current has its roots in the non-dual experience transmitted by Dattatreya, revered as the guru of all gurus. From him, a line of realized masters unfolded over the centuries. The branch to which Siddharameshwar belonged is known as the Inçagiri Sampradāya. Its name derives from a region of Maharashtra, where, between the 19th and 20th centuries, the path of jnana was revitalized with renewed clarity and strength. Here, realization took on a sober and concrete form, centered on direct observation of consciousness and the dissolution of the I. Within this current, transmission does not occur through books, but through encounter. A master is not someone who knows, but someone who has ceased to be someone. Their role is not to explain, but to ignite what is already present in the listener. The practice of this sampradaya follows a radical yet simple path. Repetition of the nama, divine name, to awaken inner vibration. Deep listening to the teachings, shravana. Stable contemplation of the self, nididhyasana. Entrance into the stateless state, where the mind no longer finds support. The masters of this lineage never spoke of liberation as a concept. They spoke only of what is real and ever present. They affirmed that realization is nothing more than the natural stabilization in impersonal consciousness, without desire, without claim, without any me left to search. Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj received transmission from Bhausaheb Maharaj, disciple of Nimbargi Maharaj. This was not symbolic. It was a living transfer, possible only because the disciple was ready and the master recognized him. In this sampradaya, realization is never attributed to eloquence, but to the end of identification. This is why disciples are few. The master is not there to persuade, but to dissolve. Siddharameshwar never saw himself as an innovator. He simply realized that the heart of the transmission had to become even more essential. From this living current, a direct impulse was born, one that later touched Nisargadatta Maharaj. Even when the language became more stripped down, the transmission was never broken. Siddharameshwar never declared himself outside the sampradaya. He was its purest and most vertical expression. When one reads, "Stay with the sense of I am," when even that falls away, what remains is you. One touches the flame that has burned through centuries of living presence within this lineage. The lineage is not a list of names. It is a current that lives only in those who have ceased to live as an I. This is why, when we speak of Nisargadatta today, we must also remember the source, not out of nostalgia, but to honor what still makes true transmission possible. The name Inçagiri is not a school. It is a vibration that awakens in the heart of the disciple who realizes that nothing has ever been lost. With this, the first part of the book comes to a close, the roots, and the path of essence begins, not a method, but what remains when the method is gone. Thank you for being here and for listening. This concludes Chapter 4, Sampradāya, Tattvamasi.